there. It is Sasha Sabbath. Let's wait for this thing to load. Let's see how long it takes. 5, 4, 3, 2, and is it on yet? I don't think so. Well, let's see. It's almost loading. Almost loading. I think we're on. Okay, this is Sasha Sabbath of EntrepreneurSoulCoach.com, and we are on our journey of the soul, success, radical soul expansion, and success 30-day tip series. And we are on day 26. I'll give you a rundown of where we've been so far. Whoops, no, baby girl. Of where we've been so far on the journey. That was little Angel. She always, not always, but my cats make their cameo appearances for those of you who have been following this series. And I just love it, the beauty of working at home. In any case, what I'm going to do right now in just a moment is to give you the rundown of the other tips in the series. Because being able to understand where we've been on this journey is going to give you a chance to see the kind of platform, the kind of inner structure that I'm working on with you to create a power center living within you that will allow you to handle anything that goes on in your life, personally and professionally, and where you are being true to who you are, what you came here to do in this lifetime, and how to best not only take care of yourself during this extraordinary era that we live in right now, with the pandemic being front center stage around which we must mold our new life. However, the main thing here really is you being able to stay right on top of why you are here in this lifetime that you will not be deterred from. And that is my job with you. The purpose of this series, for those of you who are new to the series and to me, is for you to develop within yourself a skill set of power that connects to your spiritual realms, your God force, so that you can create outer world, measurable, real, pragmatic experiences that are true to what it is you want to live in this lifetime, what you want to experience, so that no matter what is going on, yes, you must be responsive. Yes, you must keep your eyes and ears open. Yes, you must really be able to discern what is truth and what is lies, what is truth and what is manipulation, what is truth and what is a facade. You have to discern all of that. And so my desire for you in this tip series is to learn an array of belief systems, mindsets, skills that will really optimize your access to your intuition, and skills to optimize your ability to let go of energies that hurt you, that dilute you, that leak your energy, that pull you off track, and instead fill yourself up with divine energy and highest pristine energy that is going to support, empower, and augment the best of who you are. So that is the purpose of this series. Overall, we're focusing on humanity. We're focusing on mission. We're focusing on you creating outer world items, experiences, relationships, really anything that is part of the overall journey of human experience that you want to have. And to be able to give birth to those experiences, to participate in those experiences from a sense of inner peace, centeredness, and your ability to really love yourself, take care of yourself, understand who you want to be, what you have to change about yourself, and what you're going to do to contribute to the world around you, whether it's a global touch that you want to have, or whether it's the people that are just in your immediate orbit, whether you are a professional or whether you are a householder. Whether you have a job or whether you are a business owner, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you come from a place of wisdom that comes from your connection to your higher truth, which I call your intuition, the God within you, any number of ways of saying it. Who I am, for those who are new to me, is my name is Sasha Sabbath. My business is Entrepreneur Soul Coach, mission driven, highly creative business owners, community contributors hire me to get down to the root cause of what is really holding them back, what is really scattering them, what is really having them pause instead of surge forward to be the creative. uh, I think the word I want to use this time is something new. I'm going to use a different word here. To be the creative powerhouses that they really are, so that they can choose their course of direction and create the money they want, create the relationships they want, create the impact, create the self love, self esteem, self worth that they want, whereby they are happier, they are healthier, they are models of what is possible, even during these very, very, very challenging, painful times that we're living in. My job for you and for myself and for the people who are close to me in my inner circles, my job is to show you ways to create an alternate reality where you are still moving at a vibration that's going to allow you to create wonderful outcomes despite what might be happening in your 3D physical world. This pandemic thing, on a spiritual level, the gift of it is we are letting go of the old paradigms, the old culture, the old, let's find the right word, criteria of success. The old ways of looking for what indicates when a person is powerful and when they're not. What indicates when a person is successful and when they're not. What indicates when a person is really offering value and when they're not. What I want to do is to encourage you to rethink everything. Rethink why you're here in this lifetime. Why are you here at this time in this lifetime? And what is the special sauce? What are the gifts? What is that magical blend of skills and traits and God-given gifts that you have, your orientations, your values, your standards, that you know are very much needed in the world right now? That is my job for you. My job for you is to be a catalyst, is to be a rocket launcher, is to be someone who says, yes, you can. Now you must do it. You better do it now because you're needed. Stop procrastinating. Don't hold yourself back. Don't worry if it's not perfect. Just do it. So that's really my overview with the container of being compassionate, caring, wise, looking to see how you can make a shift in the thought processes of what's going on around us, where you can be a thought leader, where you can take your skills and your power and put it into a frame of goodness and goodwill. So that is what we're doing here today. So today's topic is soul, success, power, and pivot. And that really means you calling upon the soul power within you, not the ego power. Ego power is great. We need ego. We're here on the earth plane. Try living here without an ego. I don't think so. What I'm saying is there is a time and a place for both. And our job is to merge the two together so that the soul influence can keep upgrading and uplifting the ego influence to create what is power. And the power, influence, and impact that you will have is that your touch on people's lives will be much more uplifting, healing, much more of value, and the ones that are not in alignment with you will fall away. And that's just the way it is. We can't be all things to all people at all times. As far as pivot, is that this entire pandemic phenomenon is one big pivot. especially for those of us who are business owners. In my particular business, the thing was to go out and to network, to go to networking events, to be on stage out in public. And I can't do that right now, but we do it online. And so these Facebook Lives are powerful opportunities, and also virtual networking, and also virtual interviewing, public speaking through podcasts and radio interviews and summit interviews and on and on and on. That's my world. And when I work with business owners, what I want to do and what I do with my clients is to help you get really clear about what it is that you are here to bring, so that you make the money you want to make, so that you have the freedom and the abundance that you want to have, and that you do it in a way that is nurturing to you, that is fun for you. What a concept. Some people who are in business, it's hard work sometimes. However, when you keep your eye on the prize, when you keep yourself moving forward to what it is you are creating for yourself, you are empowering the creator that you are, the God force that moves through you. No matter how frightening, no matter how painful, no matter how confusing, no matter how uplifting, no matter how wondrous, no matter what possibilities are there. The light and the dark are here on this planet, in our culture. And so we must learn how to dance in between them. So I'm going to give you a quick tour of where we've been in our past tips. I'll go through really quick. Day 1 was the introduction of the purpose and the overall desired impact of the series. Day 2 was a very fundamental, important technique to program your energy field so that your energy field actually acts as a magnetizing force to bring you the people, places, and circumstances needed for you to manifest what you want in your outer world, as well as to manifest the person that you want to be. That was day 2. Day 3 was also a very powerful core. Day 3 technique had to do with grounding and releasing unwanted energies. This is so important, so that you are staying very clear of the swirl and convoluted matrix of energies, emotional energies, thought forms that are circulating around right now, so that you know who you are and you can determine who you are as apart from the energies that are around you. You are not what is around you. You are the observer of what's taking place around you. Day 4, we took a break. Day 5 was a Q&A. Day 6 was another very powerful exercise, especially now. And it was all about connecting from the toxic collective consciousness, where you learned how to cut cords and dissolve energies that might have been corded into you through thoughts, through intention, or just by life itself. When you focus on something, you send out a cord, whether you know it or not. What happens between the transfer of energy between you and that person or that circumstance is what you need to be aware of, so that you can take care of yourself, disconnect from what doesn't work for you, regenerate, nurture yourself, and find home. That is what day 6 was. Day 7 was an energetic and a mindset set of tools to help you when you get stuck and get you back into action. Day 8 had to do with a protection tool that you can use and set it in. Excuse me a second. I'm back. A protection tool that is actually a psychic clairvoyant tool to help you protect your energy field. That was day 8. Day 9 was clearing and grounding and setting up the environment, the room that you're in, the building that you're in, the highway that you might be driving on, so that you are uprating and uplifting the energies around you to be able to have an environment that supports whatever intention, whatever experience you want to have, where you are knowing how to release energies that are not good for you and to bring in energies that are wonderful for you. Isn't that a great tool to have? That was day 9. Day 10 was an acceleration tool to accelerate your ability to create what you want. That means an outer world reality meaning something that is palpable, measurable. It's there. You experience it with all of your senses, as well as accelerating an inner reality, the habits you want to change, the behaviors you want to change, the thoughts you want to stop having, and on and on. Or the health conditions, things that have to do with you personally that you really want to change. So that is what day number 10 is about. It's an acceleration tool to manifest faster and more of what you want. Day number 11, let me find that real quick. Don't see it. I think we may have had that day off. Day 12 was another integration Q&A call where people called put in their questions in the Facebook Live and I answered them. Day 13 was programming and claiming and designing your ideal day so that you are pre-paving an energetic wave, highway of possibilities of how to know what to do when certain things show up for, if you're following your schedule, as well as prompting and prepping and propelling your nervous system so that you're able to imagine what you might do if hypothetical situations come up. So the idea of this, again, is to claim you as the creator and to do your best to prepare yourself. Of course, there's a lot that is out of our control, a lot that we never could see coming. We're not talking about those. We're talking about the ones that you can prepare for, that you can imagine the best way to handle them should they show up. Excuse me. So that was day 13. Day 14, I'm looking at my list here, was another day off. Day 15 was a day off, and then we come back to day 16. And that was claiming, designing, and programming your soul-aligned ideal week. This was a very special technique because it taught you how to bring in spirit guides if you wanted to do that, or wisdom parts that live within yourself that are right within your psyche that you could use, that you could activate another access to your wisdom to create the ideal week for yourself. Day number 17, let's see, was your perception and interpretation reframe. This was called soul aligned perception and interpretation. What we were doing here was starting to really be honest with ourselves about how we imprison ourselves and how we destroy goodness and opportunities and possibilities, as well as how we are astute and perceptive and discerning by our perception and interpretation. So there's a whole list of gamut ideas that I presented in there to help you have some freedom to look at things from different angles. That was day 18. Nope, that was day 17. Day 18 was following that same trajectory, taking it to the next level. Day 18 was inner freedom, possible spiritual growth by changing your perception and interpretation. Number 19, now we start to get into the shadow aspects that live within us. The shadow is not bad or wrong. We all have shadow within us. We came into this incarnation to heal and grow and to have experiences that might have not been available to us in past lives, but we can correct them and optimize them and heal them in this lifetime. So in day 19, we covered some of the more painful emotions that keep us paralyzed, stuck, small, insecure, low self-esteem, low confidence, and that was called grace-filled recovery from despair. Then we have day 20, again, working with the shadow energies, rising up from betrayal and malintent. Yeah, pretty powerful. Day 21 was moving forward in the face of adversity and challenges. You see, what I'm doing here in this series is to give you doorways, windows, tools, views from different angles so that you can empower yourself and give yourself half a chance to grow and get what you want out of this lifetime. So, what we did in there with moving forward in the face of adversity and challenges was a mindset piece that will assist you in analyzing what's going on and then choosing your path to keep moving forward. Mission, passion, intuition, etc. Day 22 was psychic distancing for higher performance and inner peace. What I did in that particular training was bringing in an archangel container, and you can hear all about that in our day 22. Day 23 was call your soul home. I love that one. Call your soul home for strength, clarity, and creativity. Day 24 was healing and broadcasting with your soul light to start impacting the world around you, the neighborhood you live in, the household that you live in, the office that you work in, the relationships that you are involved with. And day 25 was soul healed, self-esteem, and self-worth. And the reason I did that one was because there were a lot of people who were stating that they were holding themselves back because they did have low self-esteem and they did have issues with self-worth. So that gives you an idea of where we have been till now. Hi, Shelley. Okay. Now, I will read it later, hon. I don't have my glasses on, but I will comment later. All right. So today's topic has to do with soul success. It has to do with power, and it has to do with pivoting. By soul success, I mean that there is an alignment that occurs between your conscious mind, meaning your thoughts, your beliefs, and that sort of thing, your conscious mind, and those impressions, those broadcasts, those whispers, those callings that come from your soul as to what to do, what not to do, what to reach for, and what to let go of. And in our times right now, as I said, there is a lot of pivoting that has to get done. So the question is power. Where do you find it? Why is it sometimes hard to touch it, hard to harness it? And what to do about that? So let's take a deep breath for a moment and just relax. And take another deep breath and relax. The main points on this particular tip have to do with your knowing that no matter what is on your path, you will succeed. In one form or another, you will succeed. You will rise up. It is a stance from which to come. It is a platform from which to move left, right, up, down, here, there. The access to power always, from my standpoint, I mean, all I can do is talk about me, right? Is to know who you are and to not be seduced, intimidated, broken down, overtaken, overwhelmed by outer world circumstances. That means circumstances and people. Now, that doesn't mean you're in la la land. Those who have been following my tips know that I'm not a la la land kind of gal. I'm a very pragmatic person, but I live in both realms. I live in the spirit world very strongly for those who know me, especially my clients and my friends and my students, but I'm also here on planet Earth. I own a business. I take care of little fur babies. So what is that dynamic? What is that transference of power between soul and humanness? And that's what I want to talk about. The key here to start with is to look at where you feel you lose power. And I'd like you to do that as your call to action after this tip is over. And if you want to put it into the thread here, that's even better. The place that you lose power is that which has you feel powerless, that which has you feel that you don't have a voice, where anything you do is just never good enough. And we all have that, I think. I mean, I sure do from time to time. And the whole point is for you to start searching for how to frame these situations. Even though it may seem like it's a mind game, even though it may seem like you're making stuff up, yes, you are making stuff up. We are making stuff up, but life, our interpretation of the events of our life, is making stuff up. You know, I'm sure most of you have heard that proverbial expression where you put somebody into a circumstance and you have somebody else there, and you're going to have very two different descriptions of what just happened in that circumstance. Why? Because there are different interpretations, there are different filters through which people see things. And so the place that I'm going to ask you to look is to discern, where do you lose power? Do you lose it in your self image, in behaviors that don't work for you, you not setting proper boundaries, you not having enough of an intolerance for things that should be intolerable for you? Do you have enough drive and ambition and longing to reach for the things that you really want, whether it's a health regime or a business kind of operation or a relationship or where you live, with whom you live? You get the idea. So the idea for you here is for you to look at, where do you give your power away? Give your power away to external circumstances, to other people, and to the behaviors, your own inner world, where you're giving your power away, meaning your highest version of yourself power away, to parts of yourself that really are obsolete, that really are no longer serving you, and that you've just simply got to let them go if you're going to really go forward with commitment to what it is you want in this lifetime. So that's the call to action with regards to self inventory, self reflection on power. Where do you have your power? Where do you lose power? Where do you give your power away? Where do you build power? What are the kinds of circumstances and standards and values that drive you to know how to build up your power? Your power in terms of self worth and confidence and courage and creative expression. You know, those kinds of things. Then now we're going to talk about the second part of the title, which is pivot. We talked about soul success, power, and pivot. Pivot. What I mean by pivot is, what will you do? What will it take for you to have what it is you want? So I can give you a formula here, a sentence. Think of something that it is you want. You want a certain dollar amount. You want a certain relationship. You want a certain business opportunity. You want a certain new home. Let's see, what else can I think of? You want a particular material possession. You want a particular set of circumstances that are possibilities and opportunities for you. So just take a moment and think of, what is it that I want? And make it realistic, meaning, you know, if you want to be a billionaire next week, you know, for most people that's a huge leap and an improbability. If it is for you, God bless, and, you know, go for it. However, what I'm saying is to look for what it is that you want that is reasonable for you to be actually able to manifest. That's what I'm saying. So the question is, what is it that you want? And then the exercise for you is, what will it take for me to have fill in the blank? What will it take? Now that's different from, what do I have to do? It is more open-ended. So your intuition and your guidance and your own wisdom can give you information. What will it take for me to accomplish fill in the blank? What will it take for me to have happen fill in the blank? What will it take for me to possess fill in the blank. So those are your two homework assignments to get you ready for day 27. You're going to do an evaluation of how, where, and what happens that causes you to lose power. And where do you know you have power? Now, by power, I don't mean anger. I don't mean hiding behind all kinds of posturing and thumping on your chest with bluster and vibrato. I don't mean that. To me, that's not power. To me, that's just a facade of was probably underneath that really, really deep insecurities. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about power where you really do stick to your truth and you do assess when and how to assert your truth. You take care of yourself while you are committed to your truth, and you methodically taking responsibility for what it is you need to do to accomplish your truth. That's what I mean by power. Power is resilience. Power is knowing oneself with um, commitment to oneself, not being broken down where you abandon yourself. That's what I mean by power. So, your assessment of where you give your power away, where you build power, and then the third part of your homework assignment is filling out the sentence: what will it take to have, be, possess, uh, accomplish, achieve, fill in the blank. And then when you make that list, then the question is, what do you need to pivot? What do you need to do differently? What creative ideas have to go into effect? What creative ideas do you need to ask your intuition about so that you can pivot in the direction of what it will take to have what you want? So that is our tip for day 26.